According to the National Fire Protection Association, often abbreviated as NFPA, smoke alarms should be installed in every bedroom, outside each separate sleeping area, and on every level of the home, including the basement. In hallways, smoke alarms should be installed at both ends of the hallway and in any other areas where there are doors to bedrooms or other closed-off spaces. The height at which smoke alarms are installed is also important. Smoke alarms should be installed in the ceiling at least 4 inches or 10 centimeters from any wall or light fixture. If the ceiling is sloped, the smoke alarm should be installed at least 4 inches or 10 centimeters from the highest point of the ceiling. Given this information, the best location for the smoke alarm would be in the hallway at the highest point of the ceiling. This would allow the smoke alarm to detect smoke more quickly and efficiently than if it were installed in the hallway at a lower height or in the living area outside of the hallway. It is also important to note that smoke alarms should be interconnected so that if one alarm goes off, all of the alarms in the home will sound. This will help to ensure that everyone in the home is alerted to a fire. Now, to elaborate on the topic of smoke alarm placement for optimal fire safety, consider these points. The primary function of a smoke alarm is to provide an early warning in the event of a fire, giving occupants valuable time to escape. Therefore, strategic placement is paramount. Smoke rises, which is why ceiling mounting is generally recommended. However, understanding specific architectural features like ceiling height and room layout is crucial for effective installation. When we consider the typical layout of single-family homes, the hallway outside bedrooms often presents a unique challenge. These hallways are frequently characterized by low ceilings, sometimes as low as 7 feet, and limited space. In contrast, adjacent living areas might boast significantly higher ceilings reaching up to 15 feet or more. This difference in ceiling height raises the question of whether to prioritize placement in the hallway or the high ceiling area. The fire marshal's opinion suggests that a fire in any part of the house would likely be detected sooner in the high ceiling area. This perspective has merit because smoke will naturally accumulate at the highest point of a room. However, focusing solely on the highest point may overlook the importance of proximity to sleeping areas. The NFPA guidelines emphasize the importance of installing smoke alarms outside each separate sleeping area. This recommendation is based on the understanding that people are most vulnerable when they are asleep. A fire that starts in another part of the house may not be immediately apparent to someone sleeping in a bedroom. Therefore, having a smoke alarm directly outside the bedroom door is crucial for providing an early warning. Considering these factors, the recommendation to install the smoke alarm in the hallway at the highest point of the ceiling balances the need for early detection with the proximity to sleeping areas. By placing the alarm high in the hallway, you maximize its ability to detect smoke rising from any source while still ensuring that it will alert occupants in the bedrooms promptly. It's also important to address the specific requirements for smoke alarm installation as outlined by the NFPA. These requirements are designed to ensure that smoke alarms function effectively and provide reliable protection. Firstly, smoke alarms should be installed on every level of the home, including the basement. This ensures that fires are detected regardless of where they originate. Secondly, smoke alarms should be installed inside each bedroom. This provides an additional layer of protection for occupants while they're sleeping. Thirdly, smoke alarms should be installed outside each separate sleeping area. This is the hallway placement we've been discussing, and it's crucial for alerting occupants to fires that may start elsewhere in the house. In addition to these basic requirements, there are also specific guidelines for the placement of smoke alarms in relation to walls and light fixtures. As mentioned earlier, smoke alarms should be installed on the ceiling at least 4 inches or 10 centimeters from any wall or light fixture. This is to prevent the alarm from being obstructed or interfered with by these features. If the ceiling is sloped, the smoke alarm should be installed at least 4 inches or 10 centimeters from the highest point of the ceiling. This ensures that the alarm is positioned to detect smoke as it rises. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the technical aspects of smoke alarm operation and how they relate to placement. Smoke alarms typically use one of two detection technologies: ionization or photoelectric. Ionization smoke alarms are generally more responsive to flaming fires, while photoelectric smoke alarms are more responsive to smoldering fires. For comprehensive protection, it's often recommended to use a combination of both types or dual-sensor smoke alarms. Regardless of the type of smoke alarm used, proper placement is essential for ensuring its effectiveness. The alarm needs to be positioned where it can quickly detect smoke and sound alert. This is why the recommendation to install smoke alarms at the highest point of the ceiling is so important. Smoke rises due to its buoyancy, and it will naturally accumulate at the highest point in a room. By placing the alarm there, you maximize its chances of detecting smoke early in the event of a fire. Interconnection is another crucial aspect of smoke alarm systems. Interconnected smoke alarms are wired together so that if one alarm goes off, all of the alarms in the home will sound. This provides a much more effective warning system than standalone alarms, as it ensures that everyone in the home will be alerted to a fire, regardless of where they are located. Interconnection can be achieved through hardwiring or wireless technology. Hardwired systems are typically more reliable, but they require professional installation. Wireless systems are easier to install, but they may be more susceptible to interference. Another important consideration is the maintenance of smoke alarms. Smoke alarms should be tested regularly, typically once a month, to ensure that they are functioning properly. The battery should be replaced at least once a year, or more frequently if the alarm indicates a low battery. It's also important to clean smoke alarms regularly to remove dust and debris that can interfere with their operation. Cleaning can be done with a vacuum cleaner or a soft brush. In addition to these practical considerations, it's also important to be aware of the relevant building codes and regulations in your area. These codes and regulations may specify additional requirements for smoke alarm installation, such as the number of alarms required and their placement. It's always a good idea to consult with your local fire department or building inspector to ensure that your smoke alarm system meets all applicable requirements. To summarize the key points, the best location for a smoke alarm in a single-family home is typically in the hallway outside the bedrooms, at the highest point of the ceiling. This placement balances the need for early detection with the proximity to sleeping areas. Smoke alarms should also be installed in every bedroom, on every level of the home, and interconnected to provide a comprehensive warning system. Regular testing and maintenance are essential for ensuring that smoke alarms function properly and provide reliable protection. By following these guidelines, you can significantly improve your home's fire safety and protect your family from the dangers of fire. Let's now explore some specific scenarios and address some common questions related to smoke alarm placement. What if the hallway ceiling is significantly lower than the living area's ceiling? In this case, it's still generally recommended to prioritize placement in the hallway, as this is the area closest to the bedrooms. However, you may also want to consider installing an additional smoke alarm in the living area to provide additional coverage. What if the hallway is very short, only a few feet long? In this situation, the placement of the smoke alarm is less critical, as it will be relatively close to the bedrooms regardless of where it's installed. However, it's still a good idea to place it at the highest point of the ceiling if possible. What if the home has multiple levels? In a multi-level home, smoke alarms should be installed on every level, including the basement. This ensures that fires are detected regardless of where they originate. It's also important to install smoke alarms inside each bedroom, as this provides an additional layer of protection for occupants while they are sleeping. What if the home has a vaulted ceiling? In a home with a vaulted ceiling, the smoke alarm should be installed at the highest point of the ceiling, as this is where smoke will naturally accumulate. However, it's also important to ensure that the alarm is not obstructed by any beams or other architectural features. What if the home has a smoke alarm system that is monitored by a central station? In this case, the smoke alarm system will typically be installed and maintained by a professional company. However, it's still important to understand the basic principles of smoke alarm placement and maintenance, as this will help you ensure that the system is functioning properly. What are the different types of smoke alarms available? There are two main types of smoke alarms: ionization and photoelectric. Ionization smoke alarms are generally more responsive to flaming fires, while photoelectric smoke alarms are more responsive to smoldering fires. For comprehensive protection, it's often recommended to use a combination of both types or dual sensor smoke alarms. How often should smoke alarms be tested? Smoke alarms should be tested regularly, typically once a month, to ensure that they are functioning properly. The test button on the alarm can be used to perform a quick test. How often should smoke alarm batteries be replaced? Smoke alarm batteries should be replaced at least once a year, or more frequently if the alarm indicates a low battery. It's a good idea to replace the batteries in all of your smoke alarms at the same time, even if some of them are still working. This will help you avoid the hassle of having to replace batteries more frequently. What are some common causes of smoke alarm malfunctions? Smoke alarms can malfunction for a variety of reasons, including low batteries, dust and debris, and insect infestations. Regular testing and maintenance can help prevent these malfunctions. What should I do if my smoke alarm goes off accidentally? If your smoke alarm goes off accidentally, you should first try to determine the cause of the alarm. If there is no fire, the alarm may have been triggered by steam from a shower, cooking smoke, or dust. You can silence the alarm by pressing the test button or removing the batteries. However, it's important to remember to replace the batteries immediately after silencing the alarm. What are some additional fire safety tips? In addition to installing and maintaining smoke alarms, there are many other things you can do to improve your home's fire safety. These include installing a fire extinguisher, developing a fire escape plan, and practicing fire drills regularly. It's also important to be careful when cooking, using candles, and smoking. By following these tips, you can significantly reduce your risk of fire. And finally, remember that smoke alarm placement is just one aspect of fire safety. It's also important to have a comprehensive fire safety plan in place, which includes a fire extinguisher, a fire escape plan, and regular fire drills. By taking these steps, you can significantly improve your home's fire safety and protect your family from the dangers of fire.